What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you some news about Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous and its next DLC, which is coming on March 7th of 2023, and is going to include a new companion along with the Shifter class, in what will be the first DLC for Season Pass 2. Now, this is mostly new details about a DLC we already knew was coming, from information they gave us back when they talked about Season Pass 2 to begin with, though now we have a little bit more to show and a few more specifics to go over. Our new companion, Olbrig Olesk, is the last surviving tribal chieftain of Old Sarkorians, which is the place that was destroyed by the World Wound. Olbrig himself is a member of the new Shifter class and will come with a unique archetype that allows him to transform into a griffin. Alongside this, he will of course have a personal story, like all of the other companions do in the game, which will likely stretch across most of the title, and will almost certainly be bringing you to new areas mentioned in the DLC information, some of which they showed off in the trailer, and judging by the variety of environments I saw here, it's likely to be a few different locations, and I'm curious how much of this is going to offer new quests, or if it will just be related to Olbrig's personal story. But in addition to being part of a new class, he will also be romanceable, which is a nice touch. But a new companion and new content being added to the main game is great, as that is a lot of what people have been asking for in terms of the DLC, which brings me to the other major part of this I want to talk about, and that is the Shifter class. The Shifter is an interesting class in Pathfinder 1e, which this game is based on, because if I'm not mistaken, it was the last class they made for Pathfinder 1e. As the book that was published with it, I want to say was from 2017 off the top of my head, but it was also generally considered not very good, largely because of the way some of its class mechanics work. So in order to fit it in with this particular game, I imagine they're going to change quite a bit of it, at the very least in terms of the types of bonuses it gets, etc., especially when we start talking about the 6 archetypes that are going to be coming into the game with it, which makes it almost certain that it's going to be homebrewed in some way. For instance, even just with our new companion, him turning into a griffin is not one of the archetypes that would be allowed with the published material. Now, if you're unaware of what shifters even are, they're a more melee-oriented druid class. They get wild shape as well as some transformations, like their limbs, that kind of thing, usually based around an animal aspect that they can choose, even being able to turn into that aspect once they reach a certain level. And it's a class with a very strong premise that was unfortunately very weak mechanically in terms of the published material. So I would expect these 6 archetypes to more likely than not have significant changes to the published material, though honestly, after having played the same old stuff for quite some time, it'll be exciting to see something new added into the game that will undoubtedly shake up some team compositions, especially with the new companion being brought on. But there's certainly a lot of potential there to do some fun things, and while it is not strictly related to the DLC, I am excited to give the game another run, probably specifically for this class, as recently they've been changing and updating a lot of the class mechanics to work a little more in the spirit of what was intended. To give an example, they recently fixed the Forester archetype for the Hunter that saw their main class bonus be basically useless, as it didn't stack with equipment. Well, now they've changed that bonus to actually be useful, thus making that archetype, more plausible to actually use. And that's just one example of many changes like that they've been making recently that I'm excited to check out for myself, and this will give me a good excuse to do so, alongside of some new content, a new companion. But that is pretty much all I've got for you guys. Again, this is launching on March 7th, and I will of course be reviewing it and bringing it to you to check out for yourself, but I'm excited to see what they did with this class in particular. So that is pretty much all I've got for you guys. I certainly hope you enjoyed the video. By all means, let me know down below what you think about this DLC. Do you like the fact that they've added it to the main campaign finally? What do you think of the new class? What do you think they'll do with it? All that YouTube jazz. Like and subscribe while you're at it. But regardless, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.